just a recap of my observations today for the campus improvement plan. One of the things that I thought went well was the just answering of my curiosities. She was pretty good about just making it simple of how things get done for the most part. Again, I think I put this process kind of on a pedestal, just the sheer foundation of the campus. She made it seem like a more feasible process for me as far as going in as a principal. Just what do you need to improve? What do you need to do? Or what needs to be done around here? I feel like she's very calm and relaxed. She has control of the school, control of what's going on around it, that it doesn't consume her for the most part. One of the areas I thought I could improve when interviewing her, I think I kind of predetermined my answers or thoughts. I was kind of responding as she responded or trying to make sense of it instead of just actually listen and to absorb the information. I think for the most part it went well as far as an interview of what I got out of it. I think I could have just listened more in the interview and just consumed the information a lot better. The answers to my questions that pretty much I had going into the interview is just where do you start with developing the CIP? Apparently there's a district guidelines that the district will set to her, and there's a program that they use to develop the CIP. It's called Plan for Learning, and the district will set the goals, and basically what I was thinking the objectives are basically specific to the school. Just how do you decide who the members are? Again, they have input from team leaders, input from teaching staff. She gets pretty much input from a lot of people just from deciding before she makes a final decision who's a part of the team. How often do you revise the CIP? She said, again, just once a year, making sure that they address any goals that haven't been hit in the previous years, they'll put into the next year. Just things like that. As far as ongoing revisions, I think she said it's very rare that they don't do that in the middle of the year. Number 4, what is the process if the team cannot come to a decision? Again, the principal has final say in that. She really hasn't had any encounters like that, so it's kind of just a lot. She just hasn't gone through it in general, so I mean, usually, like I said, the principal has a final say essentially on what's put in or what's set for the campus improvement plan. How does the budget impact them? CIP? Again, I didn't realize this is since we're a title school, you got to make sure your title money is spent for specific areas and make sure it's not budgeted for something else. Number 6 is how do you make sure certain funds are spent properly? So I guess on a lot of campuses, it's the secretary or the administrative assistant to the principal is the guru for making sure your money is spent the right way on campus. So that's a good thing to keep in mind when I'm hiring a administrative assistant or secretary to make sure they're very familiar in that area. Number 7, who oversees the CIP process? So there's someone you report to. Yeah, so apparently she has to report to the area superintendent, basically the superintendent for elementary schools, and make sure that everything's all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. So you have to make sure that the money is spent correctly and It's a whole process. Then after the area superintendent sees it, he'll send it to the board and our superintendent, Dr. Dupree. So, there's multiple sets of eyes that get a hold of it before it's even sent to the board. So I'm sure if there are errors from me in the future as a principal, it'll get caught before it gets to the superintendent. Number 8, what are some obstacles when planning or implementing or revising the CIP? Essentially with title schools in order, this is actually a good point. If you're a title school, you're essentially going to have more goals because you want to be able to spend that money because it can only be spent on certain areas. And if you're spending the money, you have to have a goal for your campus improvement plan to spend that money. So essentially, you'll have more goals if you're a title school. So if you want to spend that money, when you're developing a CIP, make sure there's goals enough to adjust the whole title budget, which makes sense. How do you hold teachers accountable for carrying out the CIP? Most schools probably just PLC minutes, sign-in sheets, things like that. Star teams, things of that nature. Pretty simple, self-explanatory, good practices as far as administrative. Number 10, I noticed a lot of buy-in from your teaching staff. What factors do you attribute to this? She's really big on the leader in me having the positive impact on the school, which I completely agree. She said something about breaking the grade levels. Essentially, her philosophy was that these are all our students. We're not clicked up saying these are my students, these are your students. The leader in me allows essentially for the whole school to come together and basically bring that collaborative, that unity together, which I believe is doing as a campus. How are your campus and vision and mission statement impacted by the CIP? Again, she was talking about the leader in me. She just wanted to make sure that our vision and our mission statement were tied together with the leader in me. So when she was developing the vision and mission statement, she wanted to make sure that what we were getting out of the program was reflected in the CIP. That's pretty much all I have. I mean, it was very successful observation. I learned a lot from this process, especially just going through the CIP from a raw perspective and then actually getting insight from the principal. I think it was very beneficial to me.